In a previous video tutorial, we looked at the modelling tool called Extrude. However, there are three more in this drop-down menu, and they are Loft, Revolve and Sweep. And we're going to have a go with these one by one to see what they do. So the first one we'll look at is called Sweep, and what Sweep does is it allows you to draw a 2D form and have a path, a line or a curve or something like that, and it will use that 2D form to create a solid along that path. As with all of these AutoCAD tools, if we hover and wait with our cursor on top of the icon, it will give us a very good visual description of what that tool does. Okay, so what we're going to do then is try and have a go with this. So we're going to set our UCS to the left, and that will allow us to draw a little circle standing up straight. So let's type in 50 there, and then let's set our coordinate back to world, and let's just draw in a very simple arc. So what we're sort of mimicking here, I suppose, is sort of a curved scaffolding bar. Okay, and I'm going to set my visual style to conceptual so that you can see what's going to happen here. We pick the sweep tool and we just follow what it says. It says select object to sweep, which is going to be this circle. Press enter to finish selecting, and then select the path, and there you can see it's taken that shape and swept it across that arc form. Okay, and this is really useful for creating skirting boards and architraves and any sort of detail work for virtual model boxes, that kind of thing. The next tool we're going to look at is called Loft, and what Loft does is it creates a 3D solid using 2D shapes across an area. So for this we're just going to create some simple 2D shapes to use. So we're going to go on the rectangle tool and draw in a basic rectangle. Let's draw a circle like that. Let's put in another one here like this. Okay, so I've drawn that in from the top. Now if I just look at this now from the left and just slightly hover around using shift and my middle mouse wheel, I have those three shapes sitting on the floor, and now I'm just going to move them. So I'm just going to go right click, move, and just move that straight up so it's sitting, sort of hovering over my work. And let's move this one up as well. Now I suppose this might be a good opportunity to show you the 3D move tool, which lives here in the modify panel, and when you select that you get this sort of gizmo, it's called, and you can click on any of these arrows and move the object in any of those three directions, X, Y and Z. So if I click on the Z arrow, and I can move that up, and I can even specify how high, so I could say 1000, and you can see that then moves that object up by a meter. Okay, so you can see there then that we've got our three shapes like this, and now they're ready to be lofted. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to conceptual just so you can see what's going to happen. We'll go to our loft tool, and all we need to do now is select our objects one at a time in the order that we want it to loft. So we're just going to go 1, 2, 3, press enter again, and now you can see we've got a 3D solid form that's been created using our three 2D shapes. The next tool I want to show you is called Revolve, and for this I'm just going to draw a very simple line going vertically down our space, and then let's pick the spline tool. We're just going to draw sort of a free-form object here to revolve, just so we can have a go with it. When we're done, click in, press enter, and you see we get this shape. We can now delete this line out because we know that they're now in line with each other. And let's just look at this from the home position. Lovely, and then let's go to our conceptual view so that you can see what's going to go on here. Okay, so there's our shape. Oh, let's just zoom out slightly. Let's go to the Revolve tool, and it says select the object to revolve. So we're just going to select this object and press enter. And then it says select an axis to revolve around. So we can click where our line was because we know that that's straight. Okay, and now you can see that that is now revolving that shape around that point. Okay, so you can see exactly what's going on there with Revolve. And you can choose now an angle. You could type in 180, which would give us this kind of shape, or we could do the whole 360, and that would give us a full rotation like this. And you can see this is really good for making door handles or doorknobs or any shape you want, really, where you've got a form that you want to revolve around a centre axis. The last tool I want to show you in this tutorial is called Presspull, and for this I'm just going to draw in a very simple box, let's say 1000 by 1000 by 1000. There's our 1 meter cube, and you can see that if I wanted to change the size of this after I've drawn it, just the same as 2D shapes, I get these handles, these little blue nodes, and I can select any one of those and either drag out or shrink the cube from here. And I can even type in a value. So if I move my cursor out and type in 1000, this cube is now 2 meters long. And in just the same way, if I pull in and type in 500, it is now 1.5 meters long. And the Presspull tool allows you to do that visually. For this I'm just going to go into conceptual just so you can see what's going on. And if I go to Presspull, you can see that as I move my cursor, it highlights certain faces, and if I click on this face, I can do exactly the same thing. I can type in 500 and it becomes 500 millimeters shorter.